Foes turned friends turned foes again? That's the question I'm asking about Elon Musk and Donald Trump's so-called bromance, which seems to have come to an abrupt end now, with Elon Musk announcing that he has quit the DOGE, a department that he started, Department of Government Efficiency. So what went wrong? And why the fallout again? The fissures were visible, but then it became pronounced when you heard Donald Trump talking about this big and beautiful bill about the Golden Dome that was being planned as a huge missile defense system in America.
And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful. And now we have technology that's even far advanced from that, but including hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and advanced cruise missiles. All of them will be knocked out of the air. We will truly be completing the job that President Reagan started 40 years ago, forever ending the missile threat to the American homeland, and the success rate is very close to 100%, which is incredible when you think of it. You're shooting bullets out of the air. I'm also pleased to report that the one big, beautiful bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome to help construction get underway. That's the initial sort of a down deposit. And we have probably, you're talking about, General, we're talking about $175 billion total cost of this when it's completed.
And this big and beautiful bill, once passed, will ensure that this Golden Dome, as they call it, is constructed, is implemented. To this, Elon Musk expressed his reservations, his differences, by saying that it can either be big or beautiful, it can't be both. So therefore, I say those fissures, those differences started getting more and more pronounced. But now Elon Musk is no longer with the Trump administration, and that's a big one. Let me give you the full story. Space and technology billionaire Elon Musk announced that his term as the chief of the Department of Government Efficiency, that is DOGE, has come to an end, and he thanked US President for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. That was his idea to begin with, and if you remember, he emphasized on this, that the idea of DOGE is to streamline expenses, reduce expenses, and therefore in his thank you message, that's precisely what he says, that I would like to thank the Trump administration for giving me this opportunity to quote unquote reduce wasteful spending. So this has come at a very interesting time. Of course, DOGE has been facing tremendous criticism, and not just criticism, but also court orders, which points out how it has violated certain very basic democratic principles and also crossed the line in terms of exceeded its brief and went into the area of the functioning of agencies. And these agencies were made toothless because of the existence of DOGE, and the courts have not taken that kindly. Let's now, in fact, give you an understanding of how Musk, who earlier said that DOGE mission will strengthen over time to become a way of life in the government, has now decided to quit the government. His departure comes a day after his first ever criticism of Trump, where he said that the president's signature of big and beautiful spending bill, as I mentioned earlier, increases budget deficit and undermines DOGE team's work. And so he says a bill can be big or beautiful, but I don't know if it can be both. That's my personal opinion. In fact, Musk has now earlier also, as we did a story on this, and you must go and check out that link as well, formally announced that there will be no political spending from his end.
In terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
I think I've done enough.
Remember, he was one of the biggest donors to the Trump campaign. But slowly, as we realize that his differences with Trump are growing, these are the statements that started coming. The one about political spending and how he has decided to quit all political spending was one such statement, and there was a video that we posted on that day. You can check it out on the link that we will put it out on the description. So getting back to the story, Musk, as I said, was the biggest donor to Trump's 2024 election campaign and featured in his pre-poll outings, and then remained firmly by his side as the Republican assumed office. Trump, on his part, of course, heaped praise on Elon Musk. If you remember his victory speech, he was beaming as he said, and I remember those words, "A star is born."
Let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon.
As the Doge department started work at a feverish pace, Musk went looking for what he called super high IQ, small government revolutionaries, willing to work over 80 hours a week on unglamorous cost-cutting tasks. Tens of thousands of people were removed from government payrolls and several departments were downsized, even shut down, as the Tesla chief butted heads with other senior Trump officials. That was bound to happen. But that did not end well, as we now see. But by late April, Musk started pulling back after interviews where he said Doge had become, quote-unquote, whipping boy for dissatisfaction with the Trump administration. He also admitted that he did not achieve all his goals with Doge. So the writing was on the wall. Further, a US district judge has also ruled now that Musk will have to face a lawsuit over wielding illegal power as the Doge head. Among a slew of cases he and Doge have been facing, seeking to block their access to agency systems and records that contain vast information of America's financial and personal information. His focus also shifted to his businesses with Tesla dealership getting targeted by arsonists and its share prices dropping, and SpaceX also suffering setbacks with mission failure. So there's a reason why things have come to this pass. The latest was earlier on Wednesday when Starship exploded over the Indian Ocean during its 9th test flight, and the 2-hour-long Saturday outage of social media platform X, which led the South African-born businessman Elon Musk to post, and I read, "As evidenced by X uptime issues this week, major operational improvements need to be made." So he is very clear that his tusk is cut out, and this cannot continue if he is to retain his primary businesses, and his quitting from Doge was imperative. Thanks for watching. Do tell us what you think, whether the reasons you feel Trump has cited for his exit are fair enough, whether this was waiting to happen, because it is all very good for a businessman and a politician to come together and make great strides in the beginning, but before you know it, everything simply falls apart like a pack of cards. And that is when you know that these things, these big promises, these big announcements and proclamations of claiming to unilaterally change a lot of things don't usually work. You have to work within the system, and a major overhaul of the system can only be sustained for a certain period of time. After that, resentment kicks in and all kinds of protests, all kinds of differences start cropping up, and that is when you know that your idea is crumbling. Perhaps Elon Musk got a good idea of that things have to be called off now, and that's precisely what he did.